Hi, thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited to hear your story and journey. And I was wondering if you could please introduce yourself and tell us what kind of work you're focused on right now. That can be your role, organization, community. Um, yeah, and I'd love to just kind of hear what brought you here.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. My name is Kellina Powell, aka the Deaf Queen Boss. I do a lot of variety of different things, so bear with me, everyone. I'm a founder. I'm an author, well, full-time author. I'm a life coach and disability advocate. So that's what I do. And what I'm currently focusing on right now is building more community partnership to create more camp for people with disabilities and also providing more resources for parents who are disabled. So that's what I'm working on right now.
That's amazing. And what drew you into this work in the first place?
So for those who don't know, I became deaf at the age of 4 due to an ear infection. So when I was growing up, I never had any reputation or role model that looked like me. And so I thought to myself, I never wanted the next generation to feel alone in this world. And so that's what drew me to the work I do. And I love what I do because I love seeing the youth smile and say, oh my God, finally have someone that looks like me who's also young but not older. That's why I love what I do.
That's amazing. It's so important to be able to see yourself in the spaces that you're in. So I love that you have been brave enough and are able to do that for your community and for others who may be navigating those types of experiences. So thank you
Thanks.
for showing up in those spaces. I'm curious, is there like a challenge or shift that you're currently facing in the sector? And how are you making sense of it or navigating through it?
I would say the trip is try to stay in one place. Um, who I am very multi-challenged. So sometimes I like to do so many things all at once, and I'm trying to buckle down and focus on one thing at a time. I don't know if I have ADHD. I don't know. I love doing so many things all at once, which is really bad. And so the trip I wanted to work on is prioritizing the most important things. So focus on one thing for the first 3 months before I go to the next month. And so that's something I do struggled a lot with, and also too because I have so many ideas I want to give back to my community. But I know I cannot always do everything all at one time, just because again, grant, right? You need grant, you need funding, you need all of this, and you need the approval from the government and all that. So it can be challenging when you're really trying to pour so much in your community, but there's so many limit funding could be a big thing for sure.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I think I also have I don't want to call it scatterbrain. That's what I would call myself. I do not suggest you are that. It's more there's so many projects and priorities, and sometimes, taking the time to really sit down and prioritizing those tasks is so important. I've started doing something at the beginning of each week where it's like, I need to get these 5 things done this week. And as long as I can get those 5 things done, all the other things that I can squirrel or get excited about or the FOMO about, it's fine, but these core things need to get done. So that's been a fun piece of work for me. The other thing, actually, Tasha and I have been doing this lately because there's a lot of projects that we're trying to similar in the sense that big ideas, lots of fun things, funding, definitely understand that piece. But some of the practical things that we can implement, we're trying to create a list. We have like this ongoing list of all the wish items we want to do. And then each week we try to take one of those pieces off the list as well, which has been weirdly rewarding and satisfying when we get to check one of those ones off because it's like we've been talking about this one for a while.
Oh my god. Okay, I think I need to do that because I don't even have a wish list. I just do it. I just never write them down.
Oh yeah, we had to start writing them down because there were so many things that we'd be talking about on a weekly basis, and then we could actually reference it back and then like, and that checking something off the list feels so good.
Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely do that next time. So,
Yeah, 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 for sure. Try it out. Okay, so if with those challenges, funding, making sure that your priorities are aligned or that you're like being able to prioritize all the cool ideas that you have, what's bringing you energy and joy in those spaces? Because I know with so many things that you're working on, there obviously is a lot of cool things that you're doing too.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's a good question. I would say I'm grateful I'm still young, so that's one of the bonus. I'm young, so I got all that energy. I don't know. I need to burn the energy. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I don't know. Um, I think it's a matter of having a very strong why of why you're doing what you're doing. I feel like if you don't have the strong why of what you're doing, you're not going to achieve these things and you're going to be less motivated. For me, like my strong why is bringing my grandmother's legacy. So for those who don't know, my grandmother actually named me Kalina. And so that is something I have in my heart to make an impact with the name that she gave me. And my grandmother passed away during COVID. And so I was like, I really wanted to make her proud from heaven. And also too, I lost my godfather as well, who's my father. And so I lost two very, very important people in my life. And so with that being said, they are my guardian angel. So I'm doing all this for my guardian angel, but also too for my younger self who did struggled a lot with her mental health. And I couldn't imagine now this generation, I'm a little nervous for. It's like, whoa, like it's really bad now. The social media taking over, AI taking over, and also as well, there's not a lot of employment available for the youth, right? So now the
Mhm.
youth is getting into the wrong crowd. So that's why I do what I do, and also too that give me the energy and the drive to continue making impact. And I really love networking also as well and meeting people too, right? It's like, oh my God, wow, like if they did not meet me today, how would they react tomorrow, right? A lot of time I find a lot of people I meet and they're like, thank God I met you. And I'm like, okay. And then no, you just tell me to keep moving forward. Like you're 29 years old and you accomplished so many things and it's like, wow, and you have a disability, right? And so I know that a lot of time people always limit themselves because either mental health or disability, it doesn't really stop you from becoming successful. So that's why I have all these energy from.
Love it. You definitely have a good energy. I've met you a few times and I enjoy every time I get to connect with you. And I think having that space, and you are a role model to many. And I think that um, having people like yourself in this sector where people can see themselves in the work that you're doing, being inspired by you, getting hope from you, and like, yeah, you're a role model. So I just, it's fun to watch the path you go. I learn something new about you every time we talk too, and a new project that you're working on, which is awesome. It's always fun to watch and follow along.
Thank
So
you.
I'm curious, why do spaces you mentioned networking, and that you love doing the networking piece. So why do spaces for connection and community networking matter in this work?
It very matters in this work is because the next generation is our future. Right? So I feel like a lot of time people don't realize, especially the older generation, they don't realize how important it is that we have to invest into the younger generation because they are our future. And a lot of people dismiss that because they think like, oh yeah, whatever, they're young. No, like this is our future. What do you mean? Forget about the younger generation. So that's why I love going to these networking space to really spread the message and remind people like, hey, like, you should also invest in other things. So it's I think that's why like networking and the reason why it's so important because awareness is super, super important and key to for people to grow, especially if we're trying to grow the community or even make the world a better place, but also at the same time, for people with the youth community, they need us more than anything, like the older people. So that's why.
Yeah, I think we often forget about, or maybe different perspectives, and the older generation has lived in a different reality than the younger generation lives in. And they have a lot of rich history, knowledge, experience, but that doesn't always translate for the younger generation. And those perspectives and realities, I have 4-year-old twins, and I think regularly about, I never grew up with like the technology that they have access to. And I am just so curious how that's going to adjust how they move through life. And I see it with my nieces and nephews. I see it with like the younger generations already, how it's shifting. And yeah, I'm regularly inspired when I talk to younger people. I am not a spring flower. Um, so I regularly am inspired and just like to listen to different perspectives and opinions and why, they're doing things differently and what they experience versus like my reality. I'm one of the last generations that I grew up without a computer. And then I
Right.
didn't get a computer until I was, like, in grade 8, and that was, a big deal. I didn't have social media, and that is not the reality anymore. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how all of this
Yeah.
transitions, and I think you're 100% on point that we need to go into those spaces, those community spaces, so we can share perspectives, listen to diverse
Yes.
age groups, opinions, and just actually come together to make
Exactly.
that change.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like a lot of time we're all scared of change. And that's
Mhm.
something a lot of us are nervous for, especially the older people I network with. And they're like, no, it's okay, but they're scared of change. And I get it. But at the same
Yeah,
time, change is good. It's okay. Like you can do this. And so a lot of times they just think that change is scary. And I get it because the economy is so bad. So many wars happening. So of course I get it. Like everybody has their own opinion on different things, but at the same time I will tell people growth is good. Like you just never know what's gonna take you.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's been a pleasure. Always is a pleasure. I'd love to, my last question, I guess, is where can people find you if they wanna follow along and learn about some of the cool things that you're working on?
Yeah, everybody can follow me on LinkedIn, which is Kellina Powell, and also my Instagram. You can follow on Instagram, everyone. I'm like slowly on Instagram, but I'm gonna go back on it. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, which is Deaf Queen Boss. So you can follow me on there. Thank you.
Amazing. Of course, thank you. Love having, these chats and just getting to learn more and see, like I said, all the cool things you're working on. So thank you so much, Kalina.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Take care.